Okay, so today what we're going to be working on is PNF for the upper extremity, both D1 and D2 flexion and extension. So first we're going to work on D1, flexion and extension of the upper extremity. So beginning, what we're going to do is just have the patient's arm here, right next to his side straight. My body positioning, I want to make sure that my hips are aligned and face in the direction to where I'm going to be moving his arm, both flexion and back into extension. My hand positioning, my distal hand is going to be here on his hand, and then my proximal hand is going to be just kind of cradling his elbow. So first I'm just going to have him go through the movement with me. So I just want to make sure that his arm is nice and relaxed, and I'm just going to kind of guide him and show him what I want him to do. So for flexion, what we're going to do is he's going to start with his palm facing down. He's going to rotate his thumb going towards his direction, towards his face. His elbow is going to bend along with his wrist, and fingers are going to bend. And making sure that the crease of his elbow is right above his nose, but not too close to it. And then he's going to rotate his hand palm facing down for extension, coming all the way back down to his side. So flexion, rotating thumb going in this direction, diagonal. And for extension, palm facing down, coming back down towards me. So how is that feeling? Alright, just having him go through this motion. And then I'm also making sure that I'm not just using my arms to help him go through this motion, that I'm really making sure I'm shifting my body weight from my forward leg to my back, going back to extension, and then going back to forward. Making sure that I'm also close enough to the patient to where I'm not reaching too much. Okay, so now I'm going to have him do it with me. So go ahead and do that motion. And then palm facing down, come down. Good job. Lead the thumb towards you. And then coming back down. So okay, so next we're going to focus on D2 flexion and extension. So for this one, the arm is going to be crossed, and again we're focusing just on the right upper extremity. So his elbow would be slightly bent, thumb towards him. I would be using my left hand to help guide him. Okay, hold on. So I would be using my left hand to guide him. He would rotate where his thumb would be going back towards him, and then he would bring his thumb back in, going back down to his direction of his left hip. So again, he would rotate up, thumb going back to his end range, and then coming back down here. So with this one, again, I'm making sure that I'm shifting my body weight, that I'm not just using my arms, that it's a nice rhythm for him. His arm is nice and relaxed. I'm doing all the work for him, just kind of showing him the rhythm, showing him which movements I want him to do. So now I'm going to go and ask you to go ahead and do them with me. So go ahead. So go ahead and come back down. So thumb's going to rotate up. There you go. And then back. So we're here with end range. I'm making sure that he's not too far out to the side, that he's still still in close to his head. Making sure that his head is in midline here, and that there's about like a fist width apart from his head to his arm here. And then thumb coming back down. So this is, I could also tell my patient it's like as if you were drawing a sword that's located down by your left hip. You're taking it out and drawing it up. And then bringing it back down here. So this would be D2 flexion, D2 extension, and then coming up flexion.